Welcome everyone to the Wings Cast. We're just like Donkey Kong, we definitely got it going on. And today, up here in the Watchtower, we have the illustrious, we have the man with the plan, the individual who has surfed the net and surfed on the net, Twiggets.
That's me.
And then next is the legend himself, the man who wrestled a bear without any hands, McBeardy.
That is true. That was not easy, by the way. I just want to point that out.
And then I, your illustrious host, Sir Felipe.
Yay! I feel like you don't get enough love in the entrance there, Felipe, since you're doing.
Honestly, I can't think of anything for myself.
Well, if you
I'm just
weren't
saying.
such a selfish bastard, you could.
Wow, I sense a little resentment there.
There's no resentment.
Okay, no, I'm just saying. I just wanted to cheer for Felipe because, like I said, I feel like he doesn't give himself enough love in the entrance, so I wanted to.
Thou sounds very bitter with thine words, Sir Twiggets.
See, this is why we don't feel the fire.
I just wanted to spend this whole episode calling you Twiggy. I don't know why.
That's weird. Not my name.
I know, but that's just what I want to call you.
Too bad.
Yeah, I won't. That'll be the last time.
All right.
So.
'Tis an odd name.
Yeah, well, whatever. I'm McBeardy. I do what I want.
Speaking of other things that are odd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's that?
I was around with some younglings. We were watching.
Younglings?
Yes, a movie.
Is this Star Wars?
No, but they were young.
Well, all right.
And the movie was Beverly Hills Chihuahua 2.
2? I didn't even know there was
There's
one.
a second. There's multiple.
Did you watch the first one?
No. So
Why did you watch the
there's
second
some
one?
context that might be missed.
Okay,
but
that's true.
It didn't really add to the plot, I'm assuming.
All right. What's your point about Beverly Hills Chihuahua 2?
This movie was terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
Horrible.
I feel like
it sounds bad. I just want to throw that out there.
Every second of my life aged.
You aged?
Yeah, I aged twice as fast watching this movie.
Well, that's horrible.
Yes. So, bad movies.
Bad movies.
Do we love them for being bad, or do we,
I think some we do love for being bad, and some we just are angry about. Like here's an example of ones that we're just angry about because it was annoying. Episode 1 of Star Wars, Phantom Menace. I think we can all agree that we're just angry about that.
We don't speak of such things here.
Oh yeah, we're just not going to talk about Jar Jar Binks. We're not
God, no!
Not going to bring him up at all.
My midichlorian count is too high for this conversation.
Really? Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the first we ever heard of a midichlorian count. So yeah.
That's also the last we ever heard of the midichlorian count. Oddly enough.
Actually.
Isn't that strange?
Yeah.
A lot of inconsistencies with that episode.
Probably because that episode was just all junk.
Obi-Wan, what's the scatter says about a midichlorian level?
It's over 9,000!
It's higher than Master Yoda's.
You know what I found silly? The fact this has to deal with when they made it. Now, because they made the prequels before they made the original, well, I mean, after they made the original, obviously the technology was a lot better, so the graphics look a lot better. But the ships look a lot more advanced than what they have in the current, the other three's film.
That's true.
Yeah, but like when you play, I'm gonna say Knights of the Old Republic, that's set like 2,000 years before the movies, and the technology just has not advanced at all.
That is true.
But it does look different, though.
Slightly.
Yeah.
Here's the point I have. This one's the one that weirded me out the most.
Mm-hmm.
Why in the prequels, the ones that are before, 4, 5, and 6.
Prequel. We got it.
1, 2, and 3. Why does Yoda look older than he does in episode 4 or in 5? I mean.
Because puppets don't age.
I'm just saying, why does he look older when he's younger? No one someone tell me why. Someone.
That's how
Like,
whatever the hell he's called ages. It's kind of like the curious case of Benjamin Button.
well, I didn't know that.
Yep.
All right, and
I didn't really,
that clears it all up.
I didn't really pay attention to the fact that he was older looking.
Well, I don't really want you to watch them again, but if you
Don't
do,
worry, I won't.
check that out. I'm not saying you should. You should stay away. Well, maybe episode 3. It was halfway.
It's okay.
It was basically.
I said halfway.
It was basically just rushing episode 3. It was like, oh look, we get the plot, we understand what's going on, let's just go with it. That's what I think it was.
That's why I said it was halfway decent. Okay, halfway.
What other bad movies do we have out there?
Jesus, too many to count. Let's see. There's
Daredevil.
Oh God.
I happen to be a really big Ben Affleck fan. Okay, so I
Oh,
take a
yeah?
little bit of offense when you say that. No, I'm joking. It was really
don't
hard
care
to
how-
do that without laughing.
I don't care how big a Ben Affleck fan you are. That movie sucked.
Whatever.
Oh,
man.
and the follow up that never should have been made, Elektra.
I have a story about that movie.
Oh,
I
would
saw
love to hear
that movie on a plane going to Hawaii, except every like 5 minutes, the right audio would just burst into static, and it made the movie a little bit more enjoyable.
So just because you couldn't understand half of it, it
Yeah,
was more enjoyable.
because just every 5 minutes I had this relief of just annoying static in my ear.
It's like, thank God I can't hear what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I could see where that might actually make it more enjoyable. You are correct, sir.
Yep.
I wish I'd never watched the movie.
How about you, Felipe?
I usually start browsing on Netflix, and sometimes I'll come across what I think is a good movie, and then I start playing it, and then I realize, oh God, what a horrible thing have I gotten myself into, and then I realize I've just wasted about an hour or two of my life. One in particular that comes in mind is a classic that Mystery Science Theater did one on, and I ended up watching this movie myself, and it's called Manos, The Hands of Fate.
Well, that just sounds silly.
Well, you know what's even sillier is that Manos in Spanish means hands. So
it's the hands of fate.
Yes.
Well, that's just weird.
The budget for this film was $5,000.
Okay.
Big spenders.
Yeah, it was produced by a man who sold fertilizer, and he did it as a bet.
Those are always good movies. I bet you can't make shit. I'll do it.
I'll do it, and I'll do it better. I'll make it the worst shit you've ever seen.
Sounds like what that bet was, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that movie is so. Basically the plot is you got a family, right? They're going out to wherever it is. Apparently they're on vacation, that we're so led to believe. They get sidetracked through a series of stock footage, which then leads them to a desert where there's obviously an abandoned building. They get out of said car and walk up to an abandoned building.
I don't know if I want to hear any more of this.
Well, it gets better.
I'm not even paying attention, and I don't even want to hear any more of this.
I got to go with Twiggets on this one. This sounds retarded.
You know what's even retarded is the fact that there's a guy in there who looks
I
like
thought you said they made a sequel. I really thought that's.
Oh no, they never made a sequel.
Okay.
Talk about bad movies. Sequels.
Oh,
sequels generally suck.
Yep.
Let's just go Jason 3 through 7,000.
Yeah.
However many they made of those.
Well, Jason 6,727 did have its moments.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
I must have missed that one.
Yeah.
Wait,
where you find out that Jason actually had a twin brother named Jose and was terrorizing Mexico City. Yeah, he was in Mexico City.
That's ridiculous. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What about
that
the
was
Freddy's?
A nice plot twist.
Like the Freddy's 1 through, or after 1. 1 was pretty good. but like 2 through 78.
See, that's the problem with those kind of franchises. You can only make a sequel from it from so long before the whole theme gets old. With Jason and Freddy, it's the same shtick. It's a killer guy. He's going after you. Yada yada yada. I mean, what are you gonna do to top off? See, a sequel should be superior to the original.
Yeah, that almost never works.
That never happens.
Once I can name one where the sequel was superior to the original.
What's that?
Godfather Part 2.
Hmm.
Highly regarded by many as one of the greatest movies of all time.
Hmm.
Superior to the first. However, if you go to Godfather Part 3, sucks balls.
Yep.
I just wanted to throw that out there because, you know, I apparently killed the conversation now. I appreciate that for you guys.
Well, there's also Highlander 2.
Highlander 2?
Mm-hmm.
He was decent. Are you saying it's superior to the first Highlander?
No, it's awful.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going back to the superior thing, but yeah. First Highlander has Sean Connery. How can it not be awesome?
Well, I mean, the second Highlander they completely
the
disregarded.
wings cast.
What?
Thank you, Mr. Connery.
Thank you, Mr. Connor.
Sean Connery supports the Wings cast.
Yes.
Awesome.
Watch it
He's
every
always
day.
He's always supported it.
Hey, Felipe, don't
Yeah.
talk over Sean Connery.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he only shows up every now and then, so
Yeah. Don't talk over him.
I'll try not to.
he's already left. Just keep going.
All right.
Anyways, they completely disregarded all the lore in the first film, where they talk about that they can't fight on hallowed ground and stuff like that. And I think they made it to where they were aliens instead of immortals, that they came from a distant planet.
You know, honestly, I watched the second one and I don't remember it. Probably because it was that bad.
Yeah.
Talk about bad movies that, you can watch. Arnold
Okay.
Schwarzenegger movies.
It's true. Most of them are horrible, but I love them. Yeah. Commando.
Collateral Damage.
I think I read one time Commando has the highest kill count of any theatrically released movie ever.
Seriously?
Like 160 some kills, I believe.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I watched this
That's
recently, but I wasn't counting.
Theatrical movies. Again, that's movies that got released in the theaters, not those straight to DVD crap that keeps pouring out there. This is one that got released in the theaters, and yeah, it's horrible, but I'll watch it if it's on TV.
Yeah, he does storm that whole complex at the end.
Yeah, he just destroys people. Yeah.
Oh, there's also Total Recall.
Yep.
Hey, Total Recall was awesome. Not the new one. I didn't see that. I'm sure it was a piece of crap because they didn't even go to Mars. So screw you fuckers. But the original one, that's horrible awesomeness.
What other?
Kindergarten Cop.
Well, actually, Judgment Day, Terminator 2 is actually one of my favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that might have been better than the first Terminator.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then the third one was terrible. The fourth one was medium ground, I guess.
Which one? It was the fourth one, the one with Christian Bale?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I missed it. I never could reconcile how the kid from the third movie grew up to be Christian Bale.
It happens.
Yeah, it's like a gene. It's a Christian Bale gene.
They're two different looking people. Like, their faces aren't even similar.
Yeah. Well, what gets me, have we already talked about this? I don't know if we have, but Skynet should recognize that it would be a paradox for its own creation to kill, John Connor.
Paradoxes exist in nature.
I mean, they would never have to send a Terminator back in time if he were dead, if they had sent a Terminator back in time. I mean, you know what I mean? Unless it's simply doing it out of necessity.
I think you're digging way too deep into this.
I don't think I'm
Actually,
digging deep enough.
if Skynet wanted to really do away with it, why not go back in time when his mother was still a child?
Why not go back in time until
Wait, hold on. Wasn't in the third one we learned that the Terminator who came back was Arnold Schwarzenegger because they all looked alike? Actually killed John Connor in the future.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so why are we going back in the past to kill him if he's already dead in the future?
Who knows?
No. All right. Well, all right. Since we're not making any sense,
Why don't they
continue
just
on.
go back to the beginning of time and stop human creation?
Well,
That
then
Done.
they'd stop their own creation in the process because
Well, I
humans.
mean, isn't that what they're going after?
No, they want to live.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they're trying to stop the resistance.
Well, see, John Connor is in charge of the resistance. If they kill him, there's no resistance. They take over easier.
Ugh. You know what? It's stupid.
Does anybody else's head hurt?
No, I'm just annoyed.
I don't know. I've watched enough Star Trek episodes dealing with time travel to kind of muscle this in.
Speaking of things that suck, most of the Star Trek movies.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just
They're
want to
pretty.
throw that out there. Except for maybe the one with the whales. That was so bad it was funny.
Wrath of Khan was a really good one. That was more action packed. It was to the point. It didn't like most the things that kill Star Trek films, especially the first one, is the fact that they spent so long showing you the different angles of the ship because they finally had a budget to make the move, and it's like, look at the ship. Here it is. We
How-
spent this
You don't
time.
need to do the theme song.
Yeah, we don't do that. Yeah.
I do. I need to immerse you people into the world of Trek.
Hey,
No, thank you.
the Star Trek movie that came out a few years ago was pretty good. J.J. Abrams.
Never saw it.
Haven't seen it yet.
Well, you both should,
Nah. Not a
because the
big
new one's
Trekkie.
about to come out.
Into darkness. Into darkness.
That's the name of it. Yes, you're good.
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yep.
That's a video game.
It is. It's all
What's that got to do with?
It's all about the darkness.
The
Oh.
darkness, the dark hearts.
That's a video. We're talking about movies here.
Any game that tries to become a movie is terrible.
Well, actually,
Nope,
I'm gonna.
Hey, in retrospect, any movie that tries to become a game is also terrible.
Yep, it's a two-way street of terribleness.
Well, I want to point out one movie in particular. Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
Well, that wasn't really a game.
Never saw it.
Well, I mean, it's based off the franchise.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was a
Well,
CG movie that they just slapped Final Fantasy on.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think I would have liked that movie better if it didn't have that title. But if you just look at it as it is by itself, I actually think it's a good movie.
Yeah, it was alright.
Like I said, never saw it. But what are you gonna do?
Not watch it, I guess. Advent Children, I don't know if you really call that a movie. It wouldn't have any kind of theater release or anything.
It's like a fan film, basically.
It was like a official fan film.
Yeah, that's what I consider it. I mean, it's basically just there for the fans who really like uber love Final Fantasy VII to the
It
point
did
where
have some pretty sweet scenes in it, though.
yeah, it did.
And
I'd-
the
I'd-
animation is really good.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of silly that they took down Bahamut that easily.
Yeah, whatever.
He's Bahamut. Treat him like such a.
Shh. You just shush your face.
I wish I had any clue what you guys were talking about right
Yeah,
now.
so let's just move on to closing thoughts. We've been here for a while.
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
We'll start with you, Twiggets.
Nope.
Oh, what about you,
Nope.
McBeardy?
Twiggets, what's wrong with your final thoughts, Twiggets? Are you still composing them?
Well, yeah.
I see you with a notepad over there. You writing some shit out?
No, I'm just checking over the show notes.
What show notes?
The show notes. I gotta take notes on every show.
You take notes?
Like us on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Like us on Facebook.
Facebook.com/the Wingcast.
There you go. Like us.
Like us. Don't poke us. Just like us.
Poke, like, do whatever you desire.
Yeah, whatever. Just listen. All right, we're doing final thoughts, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
My final thoughts. There are some movies that are so bad they suck. But there are some movies that are so bad they're awesome. Try to avoid the first, watch the second, and if at all possible, find those movies that are awesome and don't suck at all.
Those are the good ones.
Yeah.
All right. You know it's a good movie when you leave the theater breathing a sigh of relief.
And it has Sean Connery.
Mm-hmm. And
Watch the Wingcast.
He does.
you
Thank you, Mr.
know it's a
Connery.
good movie when you leave the theater wanting to go back into that world. That's when you know it's a good movie. You know it's a bad movie when you come out thinking to yourself, I've just wasted a few hours of my life. Where have they gone? Someone help me.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Twiggets?
We recently had a poll about
That's true,
what
we
to
did.
call our Wingcast fan base.
The fans voted.
The fans have voted. The people have spoken. It was a really tough, close call.
It was close.
But Wingonites has stepped above
I'm
the
right.
rest.
I would like to point out that the runner-up was Faggots.
No. Don't point out the runner-up. No.
So sadly, all of you Wingcast fans that wanted to be referred to as faggots will have to wait for another podcast to pick you guys up. And so, good night, everybody.
Good night from the Watchtower above.
That's
Watching
too long. Just say good night and let's go.
Hey,
McBeardy, go.
Good night. Good night, everyone.
McBeardy? He sends his